Hello everybody, I'm diving right into this today to show you yesterday's lesson, but that lesson happened to be 2 hours long because when you go to explain everything and try to put theory that everybody can understand, it tends to take a long time. And that can be fine because it helps people understand. However, a lot of people are turned off by a 2 hour video and will never even watch it. So I'm going to try to do the same thing today to make this video 15 minutes, maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops. We're going to skip any music theory if I can and just show you the basics of what's going on. So what we're doing today, with the littlest possible explanation, is jamming over a group of 4 chords where they change keys and the key alternates. As you can see here, our first chord will be this D minor 11, and it's based out of C major. Our second chord is based out of A flat major. We go back to C major, A flat major, so it's just 2 keys, bounce back and forth, and there's a relationship between these 2 keys of 3 notes that we'll discover later. So to start with, here are the chord voicings. So you can pause this page and know I'm going to be the first chord. I'm made a loop, and as rough as it is, it's going to play 2 bars or 2 measures of 4 beats, so 8 beats per chord. Give me a little time to play a little bit of something over each one, and then so we get a nice notable switch into the next chord. Each one has 8 beats, and I think 110 BPM, maybe 105, something like that. So here we go. The first voicing will be this. And I believe I added in this note the second time around. The second chord is this D flat major 11 chord. Then we go to an A minor 11, and then something that's pretty much going to be described as an F minor 11. The 11 means there's a chord extension in there. It's based on the 4th note of the scale. You can see it's highlighted in 11 where I've color coded the intervals, the intervals that make up the chords here. And I've also indicated here that where the flavor that these chords provide from the key that they are pulled from. The D is the second note of the C major scale, and it's the minor chord, and it's going to create a Dorian sound because that's what happens there. If you don't know what any of that means, that's fine. You can research it on other lessons. We don't got time for that to go off on tangents today. This D flat is the 4th note of the A flat major scale, and that's where that chord is pulled from, and so it's going to give it a Lydian flavor. We go back to the A minor from C major. That's the 6th chord, and the 6th chord of the A flat major. So you have 2 Aeolians in a row, but it's the 6th of C and the 6th of A flat. Moving on. So pause it, and so you can remember these chord voicings. This is probably the hardest one here. The 4th chord there, the F minor 11. So you can get all the voicings in. I'm going to play them slow so you can get all the voicings. Down. That's the 1 chord. The 2 chord is this. The 3rd chord, I just used the open string. You can also use the 1 as shown in green on the 6th string, but I just used the open A. And then the 4th chord is, the first 2 are just barred, then an octave, that's optional there, that top note. All right, let's move on. because we got to get jamming over this. So the first thing we're going to do, or the first thing I'm going to show you here, is the simplest way to jam over this is using pentatonics, and this will lead into our more advanced learning. But you need two different pentatonics to work through both different scales. I've got the C major in gray and the what you would use for A flat in purple. Now, you can see that it's also what we got here is an octave up. In this, on our fretboard diagram here, I've just got the standard shape, both shapes, as you would use them. They are all you need to do, and the cool thing is it's why this key works good with the original key. They work together because the scales you need are only a half step up. So in other words, we'll cover C major. As you can see, that goes over the well, we're going to skip the theory. So just trust that's what works, and then a half step up from there. When you get to the 2 or 4 chord, you're going to be moving up to this. But we never like to keep anything that mindless and easy, so we got a little bit of a little advancement here. If you notice, there's 2 numbers in each of these and 2 colors in each of these scales. So for the 1 chord, you're actually could, and I think it sounds better to use a slightly one of the other pentatonic shapes that is very similar to this basic 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4 shape. So it's the you can number these shapes from wherever, so I don't think it's any value for me to say, oh, that's shape number 6 or number 5 or whatever, because everyone's got a different idea on where they're starting from. So that's what you would do on number 1. For the number 2 chord, we'd be using our purple scale, a half step up. And so number 2, you're using the standard major scale, or I'm sorry, standard pentatonic shape. And then from number 3, as you can see here, you're also using the pentatonic shape, the standard shape. So that's what makes it easy. All you have to do after this slightly different shape for number 1, slide it up, play around on the normal for the 8 beats. And when you're going to go down, all you got to do is move the same shape down. We're still going to use the same shape for chord number 2. And then for chord number 3 when we move down. Then for chord number 4 when we move up, you can also try out this other shape that's 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Well, I guess you'd call this, well, this is, I guess, the 1-4, but you move down to the 5th fret, then up to from the 6th fret, 1-4, and then the 6th fret, 1-3. Great sounding little shape there, and our structure. And maybe as I jam, I'll move up to here. Let's hear that in action then, shall we? What's next here? Oh, these are, made a page here, and I didn't even want to, was going to skip it as page for clarity. So as you can see here, you're going to play this for shapes, chords 2 and 3, the standard. This is what I was talking about. This is the other shape I was talking about. This is the first shape you're going to play. I should have put that that should have been the first one I drew. And we're going to move up a half step and play this shape right here. Move it down a half step. Move up a half step and play the number 4 shape there. All right, So moving on. This is when we get into our scales. We turn our pentatonics into scales. So let's just hear how this sounds right now. Here's the loop coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4. Six, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all right. So we'll start with our one shape. Half step up. Down. The number 4 shape. Back to 1. Half step up. One shape. Four shape. So there's what that was. Just using pentatonics, and that almost sounds maybe even, well, it's a nice alternative to the just playing all the notes available diatonically. Now, I did also, though, because I know I've practiced it so much now, I did do some diatonic playing in there. But anyways, regardless, here are the diatonic shapes if you want to be down, if you want to utilize the framework of those two pentatonics you just used. Well, then you would consider as the one shape, the gray shape, the C major shape. And then for your, when you've got a purple chord coming up, your 2 and your 4 chord, you have this shape up here. You half step up and you play the same pentatonic framework, which houses these notes. what I think is really good about practicing the pentatonics is that you get more of the chord tones. If I'm thinking about that right, let's check that here. I don't think I got that sheet available. Yeah, that should be not there. Should be not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, and it was the next sheet over. What do you know? It's none of these sheets. What happened to my chords? Well, that's weird. I must have, not those chords. Oh, I think I advanced myself here. Now that's really weird. I honestly must have erased a page, which would really suck. Anyways, I can't dwell on this because I'm losing lesson time here, so let's keep on moving now. So this shape shows a couple of things here. The yellow notes are the shared notes, which will also show you one way you can handle them that's not so full scale thinking. It's the same exact notes, but it's a different way, a smaller chunk to think about, which can help you play all across the fretboard. But this is, if you're thinking about these master shapes here, when you're in the gray pentatonic, you can think about these two notes when you know that you're getting to the end of your chord. The beats are, you're on beat 6 and 7. Start thinking about these two notes, because these are the two notes you're going to move up a half step. Now, these aren't the only notes that sound good during that swap. Some of the notes are, one or two of the notes are stationary. I'll leave you to figure that out. It's like that zero note actually is the stationary note. So you could just stay on that note or be preparing to go back to it, and that will take you through the change. Or take these notes and move them up. Although they're in the new, any of these yellow notes you can hang out on during the change. That being said. But you're going to take a half step up to get to the new notes, which sounds pretty hip and cool and sounds like you know the change if you move from the a shared note to a new note. And this is, the arrows are pointing to where the new note is. When you're in your playing on your 2 or your 4 chord in your purple scale, you want to be thinking about these two notes as you're going back down the same thing note. So if I was here, I'm thinking about these two notes are about to go. Or I'm going to focus on this note here where the plus sign is, so now I'm in my grayscale. As you can see, the half step from those notes sounds good over the change because you're moving in a direction that's got a new flavor from the chord that you were in, but it matches the new chord that comes up directly. So, or the new key, whatever kind of way you want to think about it. So there it is on the fretboard. It's the same thing. You can help you visualize. There's the notes right here. So that being said, let's keep it moving here. What I was doing there, what I just played there, is just concentrating on all these yellow notes, all the shared notes. You could just make a solo playing these shared notes will work over both chords. These are the 3 notes that would not need any chord changing at all. I was a half step down there. And up here, same thing. Whoops, I'm wrong. And right here. So what you could do is just think about this little area right here and this little area right here, and that will allow you to play in all these precincts, we'll call them, all these square areas of the fretboard. So for example, if I was just thinking about here, as we were, that's my scale and shared notes for C whenever I'm on one of the C major chords, which is 1 and 3. But here I come to the purple chord, or the A flat key, so as you can see, I just played the, or here you could, I played the 2 yellow notes and I moved up a half step. Now I'm in this purple, I'm on this purple note right here and thinking about that shape. And I still got the underneath me. Now we can use that to toggle between both of those ideas. For me, it's pretty easy because I can just visualize one, and if I need to, before the chord is changed, I can mentally prepare myself for where I'm going if I'm new to it and still practicing. Change. Change. As you can see, I wasn't thinking, so I hit a wrong note. So anyways, you can do that down here. Change to purple. I'll just refer to, for make it easy, A flat, I'll just say purple. Yellow notes, purple. Purple. Gray. Purple. So you can use that C note as a pivot note. Works really nice. Pivot that way for the C scale and pivot this way for A flat. So that is one of, I think, the most handy tricks to know. And also there's another pair of major scale shapes based out of the pentatonic scale that you can use, and you can experiment with the different pentatonic shapes you might want to choose for here. Man, this chord is annoying. I'll try to play from up here. That didn't sound right, right? There it is. So I'm using this note. purple, gray, yellow, purple, yellow, 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 I got a crap note written in there for some reason. Alright. So there's that jazz. And that should really do it. As you... Do I got all the sheets here? No, we got a couple more to go over. So this was the next pair of and they follow the same octave pattern. They connect more symmetrically here, and then you bridge the G and B string here. It moves up one fret, but it's the same little L-shaped sort of looking thing, C, F, and G. And you can just toggle both of those shapes. So if I was down here, I'll play it again just using this part. Well, it helps if I'm on the right string. All right. So I was just thinking about this shape and this shape right down here on this string pair, and just kind of moving out of it with an understanding of the way the scale works connected to each pentatonic shape there. Well, not pentatonic, but diatonic. But we went over that 2 days ago in the lesson on how to move across the strings, the fretboard, just straight this way and that way using two string pairs and the little pattern involved in doing that a couple days ago now. So there's that. I'm going to leave you with that. There is the master scale pattern I was using with the gray and the purple. Pause the lesson there if you want to copy that down in your notes. I'll give it a page a couple of 5 seconds here and we'll move on. And we have a blank sheet here. At some point, it's crazy because I had the, I can't imagine, I don't remember erasing it, but I had all the chord tones of each pentatonic shape. and so you could know the different stepping stone notes. And at some point, it must have got deleted. It's, not like I can't do it again, but a big pain in the butt. But you can do that yourself, and it's on yesterday's lesson, buried in the 2 hours. So we're going to leave you with that. Hopefully, this is around the 20-minute mark, and a little stripped of any music theory, any reasoning why this stuff works, but it does work, and there you go. It's as easy as 3 shared notes. The keys, the cheese is changing. The keys are changing. So there you go. I'm gonna leave you with that. I gotta get over to my other screen so I can click off and like, subscribe. Tell me if you like the shorter version or if the whatever comments you have. I'll leave them in the comment section, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you hopefully very soon. Stay jamming, because you're awesome.